I got a tip from an art curator telling me that the Sharma Framing House is a place where fakes are sold as originals, and he clearly told me that if I go there right now, I'm likely to find some fakes being sold there as originals. This is the Sharma Framing House in Delhi's popular Lajpat Nagar market. In the news 2 years ago for its involvement in the sale of Anjali Menon fake artwork. Tipped off by a curator, the CNN-IBN team landed up the shop, posing as art buyers interested in picking up some big names. While Harilal Sharma insisted that he only dealt with junior artists, we knew that he had some big names stashed away in Godown. We had anticipated the reluctance, which is why we had set up a phone call with the curator who had originally tipped us off. Obviously, the curator enjoyed Harilal's confidence. Finally, Harilal led us to the basement where big artworks are kept hidden from the public eye. And the first thing that struck my eye was this huge artwork by M.F. Husain. I tried to strike a bargain. We moved on to what looked like another Husain, one of his earlier works. 76. Okay, 90 lakhs, huh? I tried to quiz him on the history of the painting and asked him for the provenance, a piece of paper that authenticates the ownership history of a work of art. Harilal tried to talk us out of it. Harilal's attempt to convince us of the ownership history of this painting did not appear credible at all. Now, I had a good enough hunch that whatever this chap is offering me could possibly be a fake because of his hesitation of giving me the provenance and the history of the works. So I decided to why not check with the master himself. And since M.F. Husain is out of the country, we decided to send him images of the footage of the spy camera. And this is what he had to say.
आपकी दो पेंटिंग्स थी जो शर्मा फ्रेमिंग हाउस के बेसमेंट में गई थी। एक 1968 की थी और 1976 की। तो और जो 68 जो घोड़े वाले।
This painting is the fake, and this one seems fine. It's been spoken about in whispers around art circles, and art lovers have heard about fakes. With the Indian art market going global, a lot of fakes are being passed on as originals. CNN-IBN has just uncovered the tip of this iceberg of the roaring underground business of fake painting. In New Delhi, Seher Zama.
Well, with an artist as prolific and famous as Husain, it's easy to be duplicated. CNN-IBN Seher Zaman tries to bring you some pointers on knowing your Husain well.
So if you plan to invest in a Husain and don't want to be fooled into buying a fake, listen to this.
Generally, when Husain sells a work, you've got a photograph that is signed by him. At the back of this work, you'll find that photograph. Is to look at the back of this, and you'll find here the photograph of the work. You can see here, he has taken the brush here and it's gone all the way in one stroke. One stroke, yeah, very sure lines. Now, a man who is doing his own work, his lines are very sure and very mobile. When you're copying, you don't get that movement. So a stiff work is 9 times out of 10 a fake. can see that he may start out with flat colors, but he then overpaints them and gives light, depth and movement to them. Now when you're copying, you can overpaint, but you won't get the same life.
So there you are, in New Delhi, Seher Zama.
Fake art, well, that's the...
So who are these fake players? Now this doesn't mean that all framers are nasty, but some do indulge in this black market for quick profit.
Buyers, I think, now they feel they have this thing in their heads that you go to major galleries, they'll be charged much more than what a small dealer gallery would charge them, which I think is a very false notion. I mean, you're taking higher risk by taking it from these small galleries.
वो कॉपी कराते हैं तो बोलते हैं कि हम इंटीरियर डिज़ाइनर हैं, हमारे को ऐसे हमारे कमरे के लिए चाहिए, अपने पर्सनली चाहिए। तो स्टूडेंट्स को नहीं पता ये कहाँ जा रहा है, किसी संस्था में जा रहा है, किसी कंपनी में जा रहा है, या कि ऑक्शन के लिए जा रहा है, पता नहीं।
And of course, how does one leave out assistance of the artists? So you want to invest in art, you want to be a heavy-duty buyer. Well, in that case, you need to do some serious homework to protect your rights.
There are special instruments, the age of the paper, the age of the paint, under special, technical expertise. These things are checked, and I think we have to also get going with these things.
As experts take their time on being more open to these special techniques, it's time you, as a buyer, smartened up with some basics.
So the provenance of the work, previous ownership, any other interesting histories around the work, documentation, earlier documentation of the work, where was it printed earlier, all of which establishes its authenticity.
Ultimately, the only way of coping with the problem of fakes is to have a good restorer look at the work.
So take along your art restorer when you make a buy, and a simple UV lamp can come handy. This magic lamp can give you an idea of the time of painting by the manner in which the pigment reacts to UV light.
When we place the ultraviolet light on the painting, the rest of the painting glows in a particular shade, whereas the later editions show up as dark patches. If a person is claiming the painting is 70 or 80 years old, but it's showing up as very, very dark, then again it will need to be investigated, because only recent editions show up as very dark and the rest of it has a different fluorescence.
And one final piece of advice: never buy an art piece on a bargain price, because the cost of an original is always fixed. In New Delhi, Seher Zama.
And we'll keep bringing you more exclusive on the murkier side of the art.
On their way?
No, they're not on their way, based on the information that the CNN-IBN team gave that the Sharma framing house is selling some fake. As I speak, the raid is going on at the framing house right now.
The raid is going on now. So just take us through what exactly is happening. Of course, Delhi police, as you said, picking up the case after CNN-IBN brought to light this particular story. Are they now beginning to identify a fake painting? What's likely to happen now? Or are they likely to ask the art dealer for those provenance documents that you were talking about to prove authenticity?
Well, at the moment, I don't think they've asked for that kind of proof, because Harilal Sharma, the person who was trying to sell Husain fake as an original, is claiming at the moment that it is indeed an original. So they're still in the process, and we're yet to go to that spot where the Husain fake lies.
Right, Seher, as you were all telling us during your story, this is the second time that the Sharma art dealing shop has actually come under such a spotlight for fakes. So this space clearly has a history of selling fakes.
Absolutely. In May 2004, Anjali Ila Menon's assistant was in cahoots with Harilal Sharma's brother, Suraj Sharma, and they've been involved in selling a fake Anjali Ila Menon picture, painting. So that happened in 2004, and the case is still going on. So yes, this framing house does have a history, and even though it's known as a big framing house, but I guess its claims to fame was the Anjali Ila Menon fake case in 2004.
Right, Sahar, so just to tell our viewers once again, we are talking about the fact that there is a police raid for selling fake art that's currently underway in Lajpat Nagar. Sahar, just take us to the process that these raids usually follow at this point in time. Are all pictures sort of collectively taken under custody by the police, which will then be re-examined by the painters themselves? What's the process that happens?
Well, I think the process now would be is to take the paintings out and have them shown to the artist once again. Even though MS Husain has seen the paintings, we send him images. He was out of town, so we send him images of the paintings and identified one of them as fake. But I guess now what will follow is of pulling out that canvas and having the artist see it once again.
Right, Sahar, stay with us. In fact, for viewers who are just joining in, this is the CNN impact that we are bringing you, wherein police raids are currently underway at a shop in Lajpat Nagar, which has been shown to be selling fake. Let's, in fact, bring you the story which was brought in by a reporter, Sahar Zaman, who discovered a roaring grey market for copies of masterpieces by some of the country's biggest names. Report, the Delhi police, in fact, is indeed right now currently conducting raids at Sharma Framing House in Lajpat Nagar. We've got Sahar Zaman standing by from there. Sahar, as we saw you in the story, clearly these were two pictures, both by MS Husain, one on which Harilal quoted a price of 1 crore, over a crore, and the other on which he quoted a price of about 90 lakhs. So these are no small sums in a very huge, thriving market.
Yes, absolutely. But before I comment on that, I must give you an update on what has just happened. The police have gone ahead and raided the basement, the godown where we had these for the police then. And the Harilal also tried to attack our camera person as to why we were taking the footage. So anyway, at the moment we are going down with the police to the godown where we hold the patient.
Sir, your audio is a little hazy right now because of all the background noise. Are we to understand that you're right now accompanying the Delhi police and you're going down to the godown where paintings are?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Right. So, sir, we'll of course keep tracking the latest developments, and let's just tell our viewers at this point that the huge Indian art market, which is of course about 600 crores plus, it abounds in fakes at present. Let's take a look then at the fake art cases that have sent shockwaves in the industry in the recent past.
I know that Bhattacharya's painting, like anything, I told the same thing 1,000 times maybe. I know each and every stroke of that man. He was my Guruji. So when I realized that it's wrong somewhere, I stood up and said, just stop it, because, this can't be Bikash Bhattacharya.
Yes, if Sanjay Bhattacharya had not spotted it, a fake would have passed as Bikash Bhattacharya's work at the recently held Ocean Art Auction. So as the Indian art market is emerging, so is a parallel one for fakes. The Indian art market today is approximately pegged at Rs 600 crores. And estimates say about 35% of that market are fakes. Talk about fakes, and how can you not talk about the father of genuine fakes, John Myatt. It was mid-1980s and Myatt successfully forged fakes after fakes of Van Goghs, Paul Klees and even fake Picassos. Faking art is a global phenomenon and it is not new in India. The son of artist Jami Roy was once caught selling fakes of his father's work with forged signatures. In 2000, Ajoy Ghosh discovered that two of his paintings featured in the Christie's catalogue, but were listed as the works of Nandlal Bose. In 2001, a fake Manjeet Baba was withdrawn from the Christie's sale as the artist refused to recognize the piece as his own. Artist Arpana Kaur spotted one of her paintings in the backdrop of a TV serial, the original of which was hanging in her own gallery. When Satish Gujral was asked to authenticate one of his works, he was shocked to find out that it was not his own. He decided to take the matter to court.
Many times I had caught the fake, but found that I will take years to go to court before it could be settled.
So as Indian art history remains rich with creativity, it gets stained by a rampant market of fakes. Atika Rao, CNN-IBN.
Right, and the Delhi police are currently raiding Sharma Frame House in Lajpat Nagar, reacting to the CNN-IBN special investigative story. Let's go back to Seher Zaman, who is standing by there. Seher, take us through what's happening right now.
Well, there still is Harilal Sharma is of course filming red and trying to show some documents and some pictures that the fake that we sent acknowledge that the fake is indeed an original, so we're still in the middle of that process.
Okay, Seher, we can of course hear the kind of argument that's happening between Harilal Sharma and the police right now. The scene is definitely heating up. Is he not giving in to the police's demands to have a look at the paintings?
No, not at the moment, and I don't even see the painting here right now. So we are asking for that.
Okay, right. Seher, of course, keep tracking that story. As we told, that's been a CNN-IBN special investigation which told you about fake art and how it's thriving. And currently, the Delhi police is conducting a raid at Sharma Framing House in Lajpat Nagar. In fact, fake art, that's going to be the big story house in New Delhi's Lajpat Nagar, wherein we found that one fake Husain was indeed on sale. CNN-IBN's reporter Seher Zaman is closely following the police investigation. She'll be joining us in just a bit. There we're bringing you pictures of the raid that took place when Delhi police went and raided Sharma Framing House in Lajpat Nagar. He offered CNN-IBN's team two paintings, one Husain painting for 1 crore, for more than a crore, and another for 90 lakhs. Seher now joins us on the line. We were just showing Seher pictures of Delhi police visiting Sharma Framing House, but what's exactly the scene right now?
Well, nothing much has moved. He's just showing us the certificate of authentication and still defending himself and still saying that he's getting the painting down to show us again.
We are talking about the second painting that he pointed out to you in your story.
The second painting with the officer on the horse and which he quoted 90 lakhs for.
So he's still not bringing that painting down, but he is showing the certificate of authentication, which he claims actually validates his point that the painting is actually a real one and not a fake.
Absolutely.
Okay, but of course, Seher, you spoke with Ahmed Husain. You sent him the pictures from the spy camp, which were taken off his two works.
Right. We've been trying to get in touch with Ahmed Husain for the past 2 weeks. He was out of the country, so he wasn't taking his mobile calls, and with great difficulty after 14 weeks, we finally got to him, and we sent him pictures of both the paintings, and he finally gave his voice on board, saying one is original and the other is fake.
So this was the second painting which had a price tag of about 90 lakh rupees. So Seher, right now, Harilal Sharma seems to be stonewalling the police, saying that, look, I have the painting, but it's not with me right now.
He's saying he's getting it. He's been saying that for the past 10 minutes. At the moment, he's just showing a certificate of authentication, saying that he's getting it. He's been saying that for the past 10 minutes.
But Seher, in matters such as this, if you have the provenance or the certificate of authentication, is it enough to prove whether or not the painting is an original, or the lack of one, sort of points to the fact that the painting is a fake?
Well, just as paintings, even certificates can be duplicated. It's very easy to duplicate certificates as well. Make a nice glossy rectangular piece of paper and stick a Husain. And fake Husain signature. It's equally easy to duplicate certificates. And so the final word lies in the artist's hand, and then of course you have the original authentication certificate. And later what follows is equally important is giving information on where all the painting has traveled and which all art galleries have owned it down the years with their stamps and with their own ownership documents. Which gives a valid history to the painting. Especially if it's an old one, especially if it's a painting that belongs to 76.
So, Seher, just to bring in our viewers who are joining in at this point, we're talking about fake art and how one fake Husain piece has been spotted at the Sharma Framing House. So as we were saying, Seher, now the next step, the police have raided Sharma Framing House. They're asking for the painting. The next step will be to take this painting to the painter himself, who in this case is Ahmed Husain.
That is the first thing to do. To show the artist again, because now he's produced a so-called certificate of authentication.
And Seher, as we were telling our viewers a little while back, this is the Indian art market is growing at 600 crores and plus, and 35% of this is estimated to be fakes, and it's not just small framing houses, even huge auction houses like Sotheby's and Christie's have been fooled.
Absolutely, it's a very deep, murky business, and there's some very smart artists doing a whole lot of fakes. And even if the work is original, you have a fake signature on it. So that again will make the piece of art as priceless.
Okay, Seher, we'll keep coming back to you on what the latest that's happening. That's been the CNN-IBN impact. The Delhi police has indeed raided an outlet in Lajpat Nagar, which has been selling some fake paintings. Now, fake art, that will be the big story that we will be following through the day right here on CNN-IBN. They asked Sharma to produce the painting, which MF Husain himself said was a fake when you had a conversation with him. Take us through what's happening there now.
Well, interrogations are still going on, and he still hasn't given a proper provenance. He still hasn't given papers. He still hasn't given stamped documents by previous art galleries that have owned this particular work that Husain said is a fake. And the interrogation is still going on, and he is still saying that he's getting the painting in.
Right, Sarah, just to recap for our viewers for joining in at this point, the special investigation team went down to Sharma Framing House asking him to actually show some paintings, and he offered you two Husains, one of which he offered for over 1 crore and the other was for about 90 lakhs or so, and it's the second Husain which is in question. Just take us through, for our viewers, through the whole process which actually led to the raid finally being conducted.
All right, I had gone there a fortnight ago posing as an interested buyer, and he showed me these two Husains. Initially he said that he doesn't have works of any senior artists, but I knew through a curator that he does have works, and some of them are fake. So through a curator friend, he agreed to show me the place, the separate go-down, the basement, which you can see in the background. Now the raid is being conducted at the go-down where the two Husains were when I saw them a fortnight ago. So he offered me both the Husains. One, of course, as is now known for 1 crore 10 lakhs, and the other, which Husain has clearly said is a fake, for 90 lakhs. And when I said that I would like to know the history of the painting, the provenance of the painting, before I strike a final deal, he said that he'd give me all the information only after I strike a deal, and that's ridiculous. As a buyer, I must know the history of the entire painting, all the details of where all it traveled, the certificate of authentication. Before I strike a deal, there should be no hesitation from a collector's part, from an art seller's part, to provide that information if the piece is authentic.
Okay, Seher, you have the police team there with you right now, but are there any experts who can really identify whether this painting is fake or not? How do you get to this? After you've raided, after the police has come down, what happens next?
Well, the biggest expert is the artist himself. We sent him images and he clearly said that this one's a fake, and that's the biggest expert that you can have for a work piece. And it finally does get the painting out, and we're going to be showing it to more art critics and curators and certain senior artists who followed works of Husain's closely, and finally show it to Husain again.
Right, Seher, we were speaking a little while earlier, and in fact, Harilal Sharma, the owner of the shop, was very reluctant to bring out the painting. Has he indeed now brought the painting out to show it to the police?
No, he hasn't.
So the painting itself is still missing, though he is trying to show some documentation. Now, Seher, he had actually brought out that provenance that you've been talking about, that document is, to some extent does show whether or not the painting is an original or a fake?
Well, he just brought out a certificate, and that doesn't say much. As I earlier said, a certificate can be duplicated as well. You do still need those papers and documents which form the provenance, the history of the painting.
Right, and sir, of course, this is part of a larger market, 600 crores and plus. That's been the Indian art market, and it's not just the smaller dealers, but it's even been large auction houses who have been fooled in this entire thriving market of fake art.
Yes, and the most recent case being Oceans, where Vikas Bhattacharya was being put on bid and almost being sold for 32 lakhs. It was stopped in the middle. So a lot of times auction houses also are duped into this.
Okay.
Sir, also tell us now, after the police gets a fake, what next? What does this whole community, this new community of artists need to do to protect themselves from fakes?
Well, I've been speaking to curators and critics and experts, and a lot of them have given me the impression, that not much is happening. There really needs to be the formation of a legal body. I had spoken to Satish Gujral, where he clearly mentioned that a legal authority must be there to handle cases only for fakes. And when an artist wants to fight his own fake case, he realizes that it's going to take years in the court before he gets justice, and a lot of people just back out.
We'll go across to Seher now. Seher, any new updates? What's happening now? Have they bought out the painting?
The interrogation is still on. No, they haven't. He hasn't produced the painting, and interrogations are still on inside at the go down.
Okay, Seher.
He still hasn't.
Okay, Seher, we'll come back to you now. Let's take you back to the investigation which sparked off the raid at Sharma Framing House in New Delhi. Art correspondent Seher Zaman, who was with us a little while ago, found a fake Husain on offer for over ₹1 crore in the shop.
I'm standing in front of Sharma Framing House. This is the spot where I was a fortnight ago, posing to be an interested buyer to buy works of big artists. Now, he has a front of just selling frames, but he actually also keeps works of big artists, some of them being fakes. Now I'm going to take you to the real place where the real stuff lies, the go down where he showed me 2 Husains, and which one of them was fake. But as you see now, the shutters have been pulled down because Harilal Sharma could not produce the work of 90 lakhs within half an hour, and he's been taken to police station for the moment.
Police took action and raided Sharma Framing House in Lajpat Nagar. It is at this gallery that our correspondents uncovered how a fake M.F. Husain painting was being sold as an original to unsuspecting buyers. And our art correspondent Seher Zaman takes you through the happenings of the day when this raid was conducted on an alleged fake art dealer. This is Harilal Sharma's shop.
I'm standing in front of Sharma Framing House. This is the spot where I was a fortnight ago, posing to be an interested buyer to buy works of big artists. Now, he has a front of just selling frames, but he actually also keeps works of big artists, some of them being fakes.
CNN-IBN investigation team informed the Delhi police about the fake painting. Reacting to our expose, the police then swung into action and decided to raid Sharma framers in Lajpat Nagar to recover the Husain. As expected, Harilal Sharma, one of the owner of the shop, put up a stiff resistance before he finally agreed to take us to the basement go-down where he had shown me the paintings. The paintings were missing. Harilal Sharma kept trying to assure the police that he would produce the paintings. He refused to produce the provenance that authenticates the history of ownership of the paintings. But half an hour later, the police patience ran out.
But as you see now, the shutters have been pulled down because Harilal Sharma could not produce the work of 90 lakhs within half an hour, and he's been taken to police station for the moment.
Harilal Sharma was then taken to the Lajpat Nagar police station, where a few hours later, he produced the painting, which M.F. Husain has clarified as a fake.
After much deliberation and delay, the painting has finally been produced. It lies here in the main Lajpat Nagar police station, and our investigation will take its course. In New Delhi, Seher Zaman.
Right, the soaring prices in the Indian art market has sparked off a thriving side business. Fake art accounts for 1/3 of the art market, in fact, in India. A correspondent who deals with art, Seher Zaman, in a special investigation found a fake Husain on offer for nearly ₹1 crore in a Delhi shop.
This is the Sharma Framing House in Delhi's popular Lajpat Nagar market. In the news 2 years ago for its involvement in the sale of Anjali Ilamenit fake artwork. Tipped off by a curator, the CNN-IBN team landed up at the shop, posing as art buyers interested in picking up some big names. While Harilal Sharma insisted that he only dealt with junior artists, we knew that he had some big names stashed away in a go-down. We had anticipated the reluctance, which is why we had set up a phone call with the curator who had originally tipped us off. Obviously, the curator enjoyed Harilal's confidence. Finally, Harilal led us to the basement where big artworks are kept hidden from the public eye. And the first thing that struck my eye was this huge artwork by M.F. Husain. I tried to strike a bargain. We moved on to what looked like another Husain, one of his earlier works.
76.
I tried to quiz him on the history of the painting and asked him for the provenance, a piece of paper that authenticates the ownership history of a work of art. Harilal tried to talk us out of it. Now, I had a good enough hunch that whatever this chap is offering me could possibly be a fake because of his hesitation of giving me the provenance and the history of the work. So I decided why not check with the master himself. Now, since M.F. Husain is out of the country, we decided to send him images of the footage of the spy camera. And this is what he had to say.
आपकी दो पेंटिंग्स थी जो शर्मा फ्रेमिंग हाउस के बेसमेंट में मिली थी। एक 1968 की थी और 1976 की।
This painting is a fake. For the Indian art market going global, a lot of fakes are being passed on as originals. CNN-IBN has just uncovered the tip of this iceberg of the roaring underground business of fake paintings. In New Delhi, Seher Zaman.
Reacting to CNN-IBN's expose of sale on fake paintings, the Delhi police raided the basement of Sharma Framing House in New Delhi's Lajpat Nagar. CNN-IBN Seher Zaman, who you just saw, and Siddharth Gautam followed the police investigation closely. As expected, Harilal Sharma, one of the owners of the shop, put up a stiff resistance. He even attacked our cameras. The two Husain paintings were found missing. Sharma could not provide any convincing evidence that the paintings were not fake. The police then took the owners of Sharma Framing House to the Lajpat Nagar police station, where a few hours later the painting that M.F. Husain that M.F. Husain had clearly identified as a fake was produced. The police are now going to begin their investigation to try and verify the authenticity of the work. Well, we know that there are a lot of fakes in the market, but how do we deal with it? For this rather intriguing question, we have a special panel today. We have Mrs. Anjali Ella Menon, one of India's most accomplished painters, who joins us in the studio. Mrs. Menon, thanks very much for joining us. We also have our art correspondent Seher Zaman in our Delhi studios. Also joining us will be painter Krishan Khanna, who's in New Delhi, and from Chennai, Miss Sharan Apparao, who owns an art gallery there. She joins us. Thanks very much, all of you, for joining us on CNN-IBN. We can probably start the ball rolling, Mrs. Menon, simply by posing this question. We know that you've been dealing with fakes of your own work, which have surfaced in the market in the last couple of years. How do you deal with this?
Well, I've not only been dealing with the fakes, but I've also been dealing with the same gallery or framing shop, where one of the brothers has actually spent time in jail already for faking my work. But they seem to be back in action. And we had a lot of meetings after my work was faked, and this whole, I was the first artist really to protest and lodge a case and so on. And at that time, galleries, artists and dealers all met, and various things were suggested. But I think it was only a matter of time before they came back into the fray, because there's so much money involved. It's very easy to sit and copy a painting. There are all sorts of means and methods now. You can photograph them, project them on digitally and so on. And signatures, I mean, the great funny thing about my fakes, the paintings of mine that were faked, was that the signatures were perfect. And I think this is very distressing. That
But Ms. Menon, what do you want to say about the amount of time that it takes to fight for your own art? I mean, I'd like to throw this question to Sharan Apparao. Do you think there are some legal measures that one can take? For instance, your auction gallery, are they doing something with Citibank? Could you throw some light on that, which is the beginning of taking some legal action in this regard?
I think we all have to get together actually and form a group of people who can actually fight this, because right now the judiciary doesn't have anything, there is no police cell, but we have to join hands together. I mean, whether we have the backing of other galleries or whether we have the backing of artists, I think whoever we have to put together just now, and
I'd like to know,
this is too serious, and this is
I'd like to know, why is it so difficult? I've been on my story for the past fortnight, and there are a whole lot of critics and art gallerists and artists who discussed the issue easily with me, but they were so hesitant to come on record and discuss it. I'd like to, Mr. Kishan Khanna is one of the very few people, very few artists who's vocal about the issue and is not afraid to come on record. Mr. Khanna, what do you have to say about the hesitancy in the art world? After all, you're fighting for your own art. I mean, where does the hesitancy come from?
I don't know where the hesitancy comes from. I think every artist should want to guard his situation, his position. Nobody wants your work to be faked and sold, and it is bad for everybody concerned like that. But I mean, I really don't know why the hesitancy. Everybody should be, upfront about this thing and fight this evil, because it is an evil. But let me add that this kind of evil it's not a new thing anyway in the whole sphere of art. The moment prices rise, you will get fakes, and you get very, very good fakes. I mean, and that's happening all the time. I mean, with several cases in the history of art where these fellows have appeared and they've done wonderful work and nearly got away with it. And goodness knows people have got away with it till now. I mean, there may be a lot of pictures which are fakes, which are hanging in museums and whatever.
Right, so, Mr. Khanna. Mr. Khanna, probably you can now bring this question. We know that this is a big problem indeed. Perhaps, Mrs. Menon, you can answer this question. We're talking about how we can deal with this. Is there a problem with the law?
I don't think there's a problem with the law. In fact, in my case, the Economic Offences Wing took over the whole case. So I was not the complainant. They were the complainant in this case, and I think they pursued it very, very thoroughly. But actually, the case sort of floundered for want of material evidence. They couldn't actually get hold of a fake painting. The one fake painting that had started off the whole thing, Suraj Sharma and the faker both swore that they had burnt it. They had destroyed it. So unless you can get hold of the fake, which I think is a great breakthrough today, that the police has actually got a hold of the painting, and I think they will be able to pursue this gentleman a little more solidly.
Right, Mrs. Menon. Thanks very much for that. I'm afraid we've run completely out of time, but clearly this is an issue that needs to be addressed very seriously, and there's a lot of angles to this. Thanks very much, Mr. Khanna, for joining us from New Delhi. Also, thanks very much to Ms. Sharan Apparao. Thanks very much indeed for joining us. We'll, of course, move ahead. Buyers are spending crores of rupees, in fact, on Indian art. But is this for real? To know more about this issue, in fact, you can check out our website, ibnlive.com.
Hi, this is Gitika in the IBN Live offices. Here's what's happening on the web today.
If you are an avid art collector, watch out. That prized masterpiece that you flaunt in your drawing room could actually be a fake. Log on to IBN Live and read about the thriving fake art racket in India. Also, click here to read tips on how to detect fake.
For all this and more, log on to ibnlive.com.
All right, and up ahead on the show.